Should the idea of equal rights regardless of sex be enshrined in the United States Constitution? According to one party in the United States Senate, the answer is no. The Equal Rights Amendment was introduced in Congress 100 years ago. The proposed amendment, if ratified by the states, would have been added to the Constitution as the 28th Amendment, and it would guarantee equal rights under the law regardless of sex. Well, today, a vote to clear a theoretical remaining hurdle to create this 28th Amendment failed in the United States Senate by a vote of 51 to 47. It needed 60 votes to just get to the floor for a debate. All Republicans voted no, except for 2 female Republicans. Now, I know you're thinking, I thought equal rights was already a thing in this country. Technically, you're right. The Equal Rights Amendment, or ERA, was introduced in Congress by leaders of the suffrage movement way back in 1923, but it wasn't passed through both chambers of Congress until 1972. And under U.S. law, to add an amendment to the U.S. Constitution, it must be ratified or approved by 3/4 of all state legislatures, meaning 38 state legislatures have to also agree. By law, the states had until 1982 to ratify the ERA. Well, the 38th state, Virginia, didn't ratify the ERA until January of 2020, which was well past the 1982 deadline. In early January 2020, while President Trump was still in office, his Department of Justice issued an opinion saying, yes, the 38th state had ratified the ERA, but it could not be added to the Constitution because the ratification happened well after the deadline. And several federal courts agreed, saying the entire legislative and ratification process had to start over. Well, today, the Senate was trying to pass a measure, some say symbolically, to eliminate that 1982 deadline so the 38 state ratification that's already happened can hold and the ERA can be enshrined in the United States Constitution. And as I said, that attempt failed. Now, this measure has already passed the House of Representatives several times, but it never made it to the Senate for a vote. But you may be wondering why all Republicans, except for 2 in the Senate, voted no to this. According to a GOP statement, the Republicans say enshrining the ERA in the Constitution would potentially increase abortion access across the country, threaten religious liberties, and weaken protections for biological women. They also did not like this political maneuver to eliminate the deadline, saying it was dangerous and calling it a backdoor way to amend the Constitution. While never officially added to the Constitution, parts of the ERA have of course been added into our laws. Now, this is not over. There is still a possibility that this resolution can be brought up again at a later date.